Hi guys, it's Gabby and I haven't made a video in forever, and this video is going to be my experience in working fast food. Just gotta find the page. I wrote down notes. Okay, so I started working as soon as I graduated out of high school. I did not go straight to school because financial aid does not give me shit. My parents are not helping me, so I am on my own. I am completely on my own. So I looked for a job, and a lot of jobs called me to get an interview and all this stuff, but I only got one. I started out working at Burger King. So the interview wasn't an interview at all. The interview was like, oh, when can you start working? Oh, if you could start tomorrow, then you're hired. Literally, it was just like that. It was no questions. It wasn't even an interview. Might as well just tell me you got the job on the phone instead of making me go all over there and waste my fucking time. This is my bad experience at working at Burger King, which is a shitty ass job. People who work fast food already know it's a shitty job. Okay. So yeah, they called me for the interview so I can go in, and then the lady who called me, her name was Maria. She wasn't even at the interview. She's not the one who interviewed me, and she was supposed to be like the district manager, or I forgot what the fuck she was, but she was supposed to be like higher authority than the person who interviewed me. But I have not even seen her from the 6 months that I've worked at Burger King. I never saw this woman named Maria. They have talked about her, but I never saw her. So I have no idea why she called me for the interview if she wasn't the one giving me the interview. So yeah, so I expected a more longer process interview than I thought. She didn't ask me anything other than when can you start working. So I started off on a Saturday, and they interviewed me on a Friday. So yeah, I started off, my first day was bad because some person gave me attitude. Like, I'm sorry, I'm new, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm sorry. And yeah, so I started off and I got the hang of it right away, and I did pretty well. I feel like I did pretty well. I got along with my coworkers and everything. I was working night shift, so it was from, well, it wasn't really night shift. It was from 3 or sometimes to 4, sometimes 3 or 4 to 10, and then they switched me from 3 to 10 to 11, and then from 3 to 1 in the morning. And that's when I was like, you know what, I can't do this. I live far away, and the buses that I take to get home are not available at that time. And then I talked to the district manager, and he's like, well, we need you at, well, not the district manager, he was higher authority. He was like, well, we need you at that time. Well, I'm like, well, I'm not available at that time. I mean, like, if I can't get home, then what's the whole point? So they switched me hours. They switched me from 3 to 10. I was having a wonderful time. I had so much fun working with the people that I worked with. I got along with everybody until this manager came along. I'm not going to say names. I already did with one, but I'm not going to continue to saying names. Let's call her Rose or whatever. Okay, so this Rose person, she was from a different store. She was from a different restaurant. She came to work with us because we didn't have enough people, and they weren't hiring. I don't know why, if we needed more people. She came to help us, and she was the worst. She was a manager, and she was the worst person ever. She was the laziest manager I have ever seen in my whole entire life. She would go to the bathroom and stay in the bathroom for 15 minutes doing I don't know what, using her phone, I don't know, but she would stay there 15 minutes. She would stand in front of the customers and use her phone. She would act like a 15-year-old when she was 35. And she, oh my gosh, she was the worst. She didn't know how to do her job. Like, as a manager, you're supposed to know how to do cashier and the back. And she didn't know how to do that. She literally did not know how to do the back. There was some time I did drive-through, and she would help me on drive-through, and she was the worst. Me and her started bumping heads because she would give me attitude, and I don't care who you are. If you want respect, you're gonna give me respect. I don't care if you are my manager or anything. You are not gonna treat me like crap and tell me this whole bunch of shit and then I expect to get talked back at. No, I don't work that way. And I do respect a lot of people because they respect me. Simple as that. So we started bumping heads a lot. We really were the worst when we worked together. I would talk back to her, and then she would tell the woman who interviewed me, and she would talk to me, and I'm like, you know what, I have no problem with anybody except her. And she's like, yeah, I understand you don't like her. And yeah, so there was a point where me and her went at it, and as in went at it, I meant like talking back, not like fighting, so calm down. Yeah, so she started saying that she was going to talk to the higher authority, and I'm like, go ahead, go tell them. I'll tell them what you do. I don't care. I'm not scared. Don't threaten me when you know I have stuff on you too. Like, no, don't fucking do that. So I called the person and I told them what happened, and you know what, this girl, Rose, whatever her fucking name is, I know her name but you don't know, she was fucking untouchable. She was best friends with the owner's wife, so she was fucking untouchable. It doesn't fucking matter what she did. She is not gonna leave that place because she is fucking untouchable. She is the worst person ever. She gave attitude to a customer and the customer called her a bitch. So it's like, obviously I'm not the only one who has a problem with her, and I wasn't the only one who had a problem with her in the restaurant, so it's like, it wasn't me. So then they switched me to morning shifts, and that's when hell began. I started working with my manager, one of my shift managers that I didn't like. Like, we got along, but I didn't like her. She started saying that I was a bad employee and all this shit. I was like, no, that's not gonna fucking slide with me. I'm the only one who comes when people don't want to come in. I come on my days off when I shouldn't even be there. And she started saying this whole bunch of shit. So in the morning, I didn't know the morning menu because I'm not the morning person, so I didn't know the menu at all. She puts me on drive-through, like, and on drive-through there's a certain time, so you gotta be quick on drive-through. I didn't know the menu, so how do you want me to be quick if I don't know the menu? So literally, I went, it was ballistic. She started saying things to me that she shouldn't even be saying as a manager, and you know what, I didn't care. I'm like, you know what, I quit, and I never went back. It was pretty bad. It was a bad experience, but you know, I learned from it. I made friends, and yeah, don't work at a fast food. There's some who do know how to do their job, and there's some that don't. Managers are the worst when they don't know how to do their job. And yeah, that's all. Bye.
It's a monster. It can see what it knows I'm waiting for. It's a monster. And even though I should say no, I can't ignore.